Well, I guess part of it, Danny, would be that idea of paying yourself first, however you want to take that, figuratively or literally. But that was how it worked financially on my end. Obviously, my district had to be willing to sign off on that. And that is a part of the process in our district is the superintendent has to sign off. But it is
Mm,
common in BC. It's a common practice that exists. The part that made it work was that I was willing to take a reduction in pay. So I guess if you could scale that up or down in a way that might work so that you're able to, in a sense, pay for yourself to be off because the district doesn't want to do it because they have to pay for your replacement, right?
mm-hmm.
Right.
So paying yourself first, and I say figuratively and literally because I think there's more than one way to do that. And I think a little bit of what you're alluding to with taking time and creating space is that whole human leader that we all strive towards, bringing the fun and the personal to school, to work. I think that is a part of what allows me to be in the job now, 4 years later, and for
Mm,
it to be sustainable for me because I took that year off. And something we
yeah.
haven't talked about is that stress leave that I took previous, that didn't go well. That wasn't a great way to leave. And
Hmm.
it had to happen. I had to take that leave or else it was not going well. So to be able to
Really?
plan for it was a much better way of allowing myself to step back. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that answered your question, but I think the focus on personal wellness is something that you and I talk about a lot, Danny, and it's really important to me that that could be a part of a system helping somebody
Mm,
show up in a joyful way rather than a burned out one, right? Is that I got a
Mhm.
plan. I'm looking forward to a 3 day weekend instead of a 2 day weekend, or maybe on a grander scale, a year off.
yeah. Well, I know too. Like, I mean, part of what makes it possible, I love the pay yourself first. And if we're honest, like, I'm gonna generalize here, but I think there's data to support, right? A lot of Americans live outside their means, you know. And so, if you can be smarter and yeah, just make some potentially better choices, right, so that you could squirrel some money away over here, that affords you to do something like you did, Dan. Because then you have that you've paid yourself first. In the business space, there's a really popular book. I don't know if you ever read this one, Mitch, but it was called Profit First. And that's actually a philosophy that I've been doing with my business since I read it. And probably in the business, I've been doing that for about 8 years. But the way profit first sort of flips the paradigm, which is a very ruckus maker thing to do. Usually businesses are out there and I don't know, they're paying their bills, which they should, paying their team, you know, they got all the expenses, all this kind of stuff, and you know, hopefully paying their taxes or they're getting in trouble with the IRS. They're paying themselves, but then they look, you know, at the end of the day and there's no money to pull for the profit, which is kind of what makes business fun at times. Is like there's a little treasure trove there, right? Like Dan knows, the last 2 years we've been doing the National Lampoon's Christmas bonus, right? So we can all buy a pool for our backyard, and that's something I love to do. And everybody on the team, right, gets something. And it wasn't a part of the agreement when they started; it was just a surprise, right? One of the reasons we can do that is because of the profit first mentality. Last thing I'll say about that is then what you do is you say up into a certain point of revenue, I'm going to take a percentage, let's say 10%. That's going to be profit. And for every check that comes in, right, somebody joins the mastermind. And so if that's $3,500, 10%, 350, boom, goes to the profit account immediately. There's a percentage that goes to sort of owner pay. There's a percentage that goes to expenses and a percentage that goes to taxes. And you, for every time you get paid, you siphon it off like that. And therefore you got it all under control, but you don't spend it, right? It's been earmarked. Hopefully that made sense, but pay yourself first, profit first, really great thing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about prioritizing you first, right? Which is a good thing to do. Put on the oxygen mask.
I wonder
Yeah, and I
if
say
there's.
doing that
Go ahead,
figuratively
Dan.
is important, right? Because we also need to do that on a daily basis and put in reps at the gym or go for
Yeah,
a walk
yeah,
or a run or spend
right.
time with family members so we're not losing those connections outside of work.
Yeah, yeah.